Hi, I'm Debbi Dachinger, and I want to welcome you to the Ultimate Visibility Formula. You're here, you made it, you felt the call, right? Number one question. It's true, number one question that authors, coaches, speakers, entrepreneurs all ask. How can I get interviewed? And what I've been really learning over the more than decade that I've been working with people on this subject and teaching them the skills is not only is that the question, but there's two other pieces that create this really big back down for them. One is time. Most entrepreneurs are incredibly overwhelmed and time management is an issue. And the other thing is they feel a lot of pain around this. They know they want to do it. They know it's a powerful tool. They know they have a voice and that they should be out there talking about their business, their product, their message, but they don't know how. And it breaks their heart. So they stay very, very stuck in this place. Well, welcome. You guys heard the call and you're here. And what I really want you to know more than anything is how blessed I am to have you here. I know because we've already connected who you are, what you do out in the world, and the fact that you're here in my class. What did I do to be so lucky? That's all I can say. I just feel really blessed and honored that you're here. I'm so excited to work with you that I'm chomping at the bit. So I'm going to address the number one concern, and I sort of dropped it here in the beginning, which is about your message. What I've heard over and over again from all of you is, what is my message? I don't know how to speak my message. I don't know how to craft my message. So that's where we're going to start. This is actually pre-program work. So I'm going to talk you through this. I'm going to give you a lot of examples because I think examples really help us to hear the musicality of what we're going to be creating. The great thing is you're really just going to be writing one line. Some messages are only one line. Some messages are short, and sometimes we like to make them a little longer, so we have two options depending on the time factor. If you're going to be interviewed, you have a little more time. You might want to say that tiny paragraph to describe who you are. Otherwise, you could say the short one, because if you're in a network meeting, you know sometimes they get up and say they've got a timer. You've got 30 seconds to say who you are and what you do. We want it to be compelling because a really good message makes people lean in and say, I need to talk to that person during the break and get their card, right? So let's talk about how to message. I'm going to take you through it. Take a big breath and just know this could be fun. And the other F word is it's going to create freedom for you. When you know how to message yourself, it's tremendously freeing. Once you learn this, write it down, keep it, test it, use it, and have fun with it. And you may tinker with it. You may write this amazing draft and then say, yeah, but I've got a week before class starts, so let's play with this. Okay, let's get into messaging. Messaging has an actual formula, right? That's the really good news. And what I want you to know is you are working so hard already. You're dedicating everything you have to the company that you've created. So let's take the time to clarify your value through your message. Craft it, hone it, write it down, and use the formulas that I'm going to share with you here. And once you've written your message, be sure to start saying it, testing it, using it where you go so it becomes familiar, so it becomes really easy for you to pull out at a moment's notice and say anytime you're networking, speaking on stage, going to a party, and you're introduced to somebody. Oh, it's great to meet you. What do you do? Ding. Or you're being interviewed on media. So let's create your anthem. Think about it as an anthem, right? That's such a great word. Your personal anthem for what you do and be and your unique you out into the world. We're going to cut through the noise and we're going to create a statement that stands out so it makes it clear what you do in 3 seconds or less. Boy, that's where the gold is. Buyers, clients, potential clients always react better to messaging that gets at the heart of the benefits that whatever you're doing is going to bring to their life. So how do you create this message? Well, where do you start? How do you make it simple when actually what you feel like what you're offering is complex? We're going to start with a positioning statement. A positioning statement is a declaration of who you are, the value you offer, and it's about the value you offer to a very specific set of people. So when somebody asks you about your business, I'm sure that you can passionately wax on and describe what it is you do, but that's not a message. That's too much too long, because your message is actually a succinct, consistent way that you describe your value proposition every time you're in front of a potential customer, audience, investor, or an interview host. So here is a classic positioning statement that's a useful construct. By the way, this is in the email, these templates. So although I'm going to say them out loud, you have the templates to work with. Here is the template. And anytime I do that, that means the parentheses that you would fill in, the words you'd fill in. So for target, who are, segment, brand provides the category with distinction because of proof. Let me break that down. Your task is to fill in all of those blanks, yes? So the target is, who is the group of clients you're going after? It's very indigenous to only you. Is it small businesses? Is it large businesses? Is it boat owners? Is it people who play golf? Is it women, students, travelers, married people, single people, spiritual people? So for, let's just say this one's about travelers. So target for travelers, right? Now let's go on to the segment. Within your target, travelers, what's the characteristic of that segment of those clients? That segment of clients, what are they most likely to buy? Be as narrow as you can. So an example is for business owners who are hiring 10 or more people, right? So now we just did the target and the segment. Focus your messaging and your product to best meet the needs of that segment, that group. Okay. The brand, easy, your company name. And category is a competitive frame for the client. So to answer this, ask yourself, if I needed to put my business in a box, here's what that box is. Because at least your target audience understands what that box is. And then you get to say, within that box, here's what makes me or us unique. So what's the distinction? Within the above category, what is it that sets you apart? What makes you and what you deliver unique? More specifically, why are you better? Why you? This is something that you alone can do for your client. And you know, because the people you've worked with, this is the pattern you see over and over, why they love you, why they come back to you, any testimonies they give you, any emails of thank you, or phone calls of thank you, and this is what you delivered. It's that. It's the reason they should care about you. And what's great about a distinction is you can tie it into a higher level emotional benefit. And the last is proof. What is the proof of your claim? Now, this doesn't need to be complex. It doesn't need to be database, but it's what's going to convince your clients you can deliver on your promise, why you'll be able to do what it is that you say you do. So go back and play with this. For target, or segment, brand, your company, provides the category with distinction because of proof. Just play with it again. Take a breath. Fun. Freedom. Trust me, this will come if you get out of your own way. I'm going to give you so many examples. You will absolutely get this. So keep breathing and staying with me. Thank you for trusting me. Great positioning statements and answers and messages. I want to give you some examples so it starts coming into you, some ways that companies you might know of have used these to become their message. So how about Zipcars? Here's their message. For urban dwellers who need a car, Zipcar is the sharing service that gives you freedom from car ownership and the hassle of renting. Pretty succinct, right? To the point, and it gives you the value. Has some emotional components and lots of benefits in there. And it's very specific, right? The category of people and the segment of those people who like Zipcar. Here's another one. Now, by the way, this is from circa 2001. So this is very old messaging from Amazon. For World Wide Web users who enjoy books, Amazon.com is the online bookseller that provides instant access to over 1.1 million books. Beautiful, right? People who enjoy books, they're the online bookseller. Instant access. If that isn't instant gratification, I don't know what is. And then proof, 1.1 million books. Well, you and I know that number is way bigger today. But like, wow, if I love books and I get to see all those books, I'm in, I'm buying, and it's instant access. Okay, another one, HubSpot. For SMBs looking to grow their business. HubSpot is the inbound marketing and marketing automation software that increases lead flow and improves lead conversion rates. And for Lever, L-E-V-E-R, for growing businesses looking to hire hard-to-find candidates in important roles, Lever's applicant tracking system helps them identify, attract, and close the best candidates. Boom, mic drop, so good. Now I'm going to give you an example, and I'll weave in and out some examples of me and my business and ways that I can use much longer and much shorter messaging depending on what my need is and where I'm speaking or where I'm being interviewed, right? So this one would be great for speaking from stage because it's much longer, and if I have 30, 40, 90 minutes a day or a weekend to speak, this is perfect. Did you know that the #1 question that entrepreneurs ask is, how can I get booked on radio and podcast interviews? I've created the ultimate visibility formula. It shows entrepreneurs the entire system. So far, I've had 100% success track record in explaining the process and interview skills. So then I watch the participants book media interviews like pros as often as they like, while they become go-to experts in their field from the visibility. Now I'm hoping to reach 10,000 new coaches, speakers, authors, and entrepreneurs to share these interview skills because radio and podcast shows have doubled in number every year for the past decade. And they're looking for guests just like you. My team and I have over 12 years experience working both sides of the microphone as an award-winning podcast host and as an interview guest on over 900 media outlets. I bring the ultimate visibility formula to my group and private sessions so my clients have a new #1 question, which is, how did my business's numbers double so quickly? That's the longer version. Now, let's say I want a message that's more along the lines of an elevator speech. So this is the succinct elevator speech template you can fill in. And by the way, with all these examples, you don't need to do them all. You can if you want. They're there for you to fill in if that's fun and light. Or you could just choose the one that calls to you, fill in that template, and then there's your message. And then play with it throughout the week. So here is the template for an elevator speech, right? So an elevator message, they call it that specifically because the idea is this. You get into the ground floor and there's somebody in there and you turn around, it's like, oh my God, it's Oprah Winfrey. And Oprah says, well, hi. It's really nice to meet you. What do you do? And you're looking and Oprah's getting off at the 8th floor and the elevator's moving. What are you going to say about who you are and what you do? So that Oprah says, I would love to read your book. Do you have a copy? Or, oh, I'd love to learn more. Can my team get a hold of you so we can have a conversation? Where's your card? Something that causes them to ask a question that makes a connection, right? You have that much time to do a powerful elevator speech. So let's talk about what that template looks like. Remember this? These brackets mean that's where you fill it in. So we make solution for target market so that value. Okay, this is another example from my business of a very short elevator pitch with all of these brackets filled in. I make media visibility available for entrepreneurs by ensuring they write their page turner book, take it to guaranteed international bestseller, and get scheduled on radio and podcast interviews. It's short, but it's good for a great and succinct and clear introduction. Let me give you an example from another business. This is an example from Palo Alto Software. And this is what a one-sentence pitch can look like. We make business planning and performance tracking tools for small business owners so they can more easily raise startup funds, develop budgets, and track performance on an easy-to-use financial dashboard. Done. Clear. Okay, another example we can use from my business. Has this ever happened to you? You're ready to begin writing the book that's been calling to you, and you dream of being an author who rushes excitedly to see your published book on bookshelves when you realize that you don't know how to write a book, and you don't even know where to start. I'm a book coach with 100% success rate who guides you to write your book and get your page turner published as a successful author and finally fulfill your dream. Get it? You're starting to feel the rhythm of what's possible. Just feel into the energy of this because you've got that energy too in who you are, what you do, what you deliver that's different. What are the benefits? Okay, here's another template, a longer version of the elevator speech, the message. Do you know that target market have problem? I've created solution that value. So far we've traction. Now we're hoping to goal. My team and I have experienced. Let me give you an example of this one. So one of my private clients and I, in one of our sessions, and again, this messaging, it's big for everybody. So the great news is you're not alone, right? That's super great news. And the great news is that once you supersede this, boy, are you going to be in the minority of powerhouses who can go anywhere and say this and feel really good about yourself. So I want to tell you the one, and this is long, that I wrote for her. And the interesting thing is, and the very interesting thing is, I didn't write it. I didn't go to my head about who she is and figure out how to verbalize what it is that she gives. The truth is, I just sat in conversation with her for maybe 3 minutes, probably less. And what she didn't know is that I was furiously taking notes because she was feeding to me everything that she does that makes her brilliant and delivers something beautiful to clients that they want and need. So here's what I wrote basically through the template, put together from her words. And she was so shocked to hear it said back in this way. Did you know that people struggling with relationships have trouble trusting, healing from a heartbreak, and repeatedly attracting relationships beneath what they deserve? I've created a system that heals intimacy issues at a core level. After working with my clients, they attract their ideal match for long-lasting, thriving intimacy. So far, I've privately coached over 1,000 people, as well as groups of thousands of people who have now stopped giving away their power, began expressing their truth, and are now in positive marriages and are at peace for the first time in their skin. Now I'm hoping to show people that they are already the embodiment of God consciousness, where nothing is against you and everything is for you. My team and I have 18 years experience of straight talk relationship coaching. Mamma mia, would you not want to work with this person? And by the way, anything I'm reading that is my messaging, my client's messaging, or any corporation, do not even borrow a line, a sentence, a mini sentence, really. These are their messages. You have your own indigenous message. Trust it will come out. So moving on, you can also, in your messaging, tell a compelling story or give a set of facts because it illustrates problems and what you do to solve it. It's a great way to connect with your audience and keep them interested in your business from your opening lines. It's a hook, and it primes people to understand how you have already solved the problem. So within your message, and again, options. You can play with these, use them, not use them, just options. Options are good. You can tell a real customer story because when you open your pitch by telling a real customer story very quickly, it addresses the problem that the product or service solves in the marketplace. Essentials only. When you're giving your message or pitch, less is always more. Prioritize only the most important thing or things that you want to share. Stick to those pieces. They don't need to know everything you do. Share impressive facts. Talk about who you know, who you've worked with, who's invested in your previous ventures, who's currently investing in you. Because the first investor is always the hardest to get. So after you get that one, that very first investor on board, other clients are willing to follow suit. Tips, keep it short. That's your goal, short. The goal of the elevator of speech, the message, is not to convey every last bit of information about your business, right? You put people to sleep. We don't want that. We want to wake them up because the goal is to spark interest. The end goal is to make connections, get a meeting, get permission because they've asked to explain your business in more detail. Create trends. Have original ideas. Be a leader, not a follower. Don't try to fit in. In fact, do the opposite because the whole point in your business is to stand out, right? So in order to create a trend, to create what you want, guess what? I'm going to tell you a little tip. You are your own avatar. You want to know who your client is? It's you. Guess why you showed up to my program, beautiful, amazing human that you are, or not human, whatever you be, you're welcome here. Because you're me. You are me. We have so much in common. You are my avatar because you're me. How do you think I started teaching messaging and visibility and being seen? Having a voice is essentially what I create out in the planet for myself and for others. And the voice just happens to take form through writing and through becoming known as a bestseller, through being interviewed, through going on stage, television, and much more. From leading your tribe and community, it's having your voice. Why? It was my biggest issue growing up. Feeling seen, feeling heard. There was no oxygen in the house I grew up in for me. Can you imagine? No oxygen, no one to make me feel special or seen or loved most of the time. Very difficult. So healing journey to supersede that. And for all of us, when we go on our journey and we come out the other side, here's the beautiful thing. We have a message to give because we have gained wisdom. And message, and this is a Debbieism, when you break it up, is me sage. So what is the sage wisdom you have and know that makes you unique to gift this out into the world? It is a gift that your soul was very clear you came here to be and give and do. So let yourself be unique. Create what you need, not what you think others need or want. You got into business to make a difference and provide a solution to others. Your solution, you know, it works. So your audience is you. So be bold. People respect that shameless aspect. Everyone walks around with a certain type of pain or joy. And when you put a voice to it, that can be really powerful and a great tool for influence. So remember, your message isn't for everyone to hear, and it's your job to reach your tribe of people. Your message is customized, and it shouldn't be general. It shouldn't reach everyone. If you're trying to include everyone, that's going to be your downfall. in creating a powerful message, build a believable case for your jury, for your prospects to become your customers. So I'm going to end this with a few examples, both short and long, to help get you started with your own message or elevator pitch. Here we go. Number one, short. I'm opening a new gift and specialty shop downtown that helps young urban trendsetters find unique and creative gifts and housewares that will impress friends and coworkers. Another message, longer. Has this ever happened to you? You're rushing to get the kids out the door in the morning so you can get them to school on time and not be late for another important meeting, and then you realize you can't find your car keys. This happens all the time to me. In fact, did you know that the average suburban professional misplaces their keys more than 5 times per month? That's more than 600 million times per year. Using Bluetooth technology, I've created a low-cost key fob that helps people find their keys and other lost items in record time, making it easier to get out the door on busy mornings. We've got a working prototype, and now we're looking to raise funds to go to large-scale production. We've got some new team members on board with extensive manufacturing experience and supply chain expertise. So we're hoping to get to market in the next 6 months. Ta-da! And now here is a message, succinct and compelling. My Wave Rider company is developing a new kind of affordable surfboard for beginner surfers so that they can learn to surf without having to invest the $1,000 plus that traditional surfboards cost. Are you starting to get it? Yay. Well, now it's your turn. Fill in the template, pick one of them, and just write your message. It's okay to write a draft and then tinker with it. Let the process flow, let it be fun, and don't take it too seriously. Be light about it, make that choice. What is an elevator pitch? It's a quick summary of you, for the time it takes to ride an elevator, and that's roughly 30 seconds or 75 words. It's so important to have them, and you'll use them in the interview process. It's a great icebreaker to start a conversation. From on screen to in person to on the telephone or online. Any of these interviews provide a great summary of who you are, your background, and what you offer. It's a very popular interview question you'll get. Tell me about yourself, or tell me about the work you do. Plus, outside of interviews, networking, speaking, ad infinitum. So the last template I'm going to offer to you for your message. I help ideal clients who struggle with their pain to solution so that they can the promise. Can you make any of it rhyme? Can you make it funny, memorable? Remember, you're telling people what you can do for them. And more importantly, it's already inside of you. Your message, me, sage. You're already a sage. You're already doing this work magnificently out into the world. Again, welcome to the program. I am so thrilled to be on this journey with you and see all of what we're going to create and see you out there rocking the interview world when we're complete. Hold the intention that during this class, you're actually going to book 1 or more interviews. Yes, that's how we're working. We're going to be manifesting this in this class with great success. So enjoy messaging, choose one, start to fill it in, look at those templates, have a great time, and bring it with you to our very first session together. We're going to introduce each other and ourselves and say our message. Bye for now.